Ladies and gentlemen, in life there is a battle we all must face. Not against the world, not against circumstances, but the battle that is most personal, the battle that defines who we are, the battle against ourselves. This battle isn't fought with fists or forces fought in the silence of your mind, in the depths of your soul, and in the choices you make when no one is looking. We spend too much time fighting the wrong enemies. We fight the opinions of others, we battle the expectations of society, and we wrestle with the idea of who we think we should be. But the real fight, the one that matters most, is the one between who you are right now and who you are destined to become. Mastering your mindset is where it all begins. Everything you do, everything you achieve starts in the mind. Your thoughts are the seeds of your future. If you plant doubt, fear, and negativity, that's exactly what you'll grow in your life. But if you plant strength, belief, and positivity, your life will reflect that power. The question is, which thoughts are you watering? Too often we let the wrong voices dictate how we feel about ourselves. We let fear creep in, telling us we're not good enough, smart enough, talented enough. We start to believe the lies that society, people, and even our past experiences try to feed us. But here's the truth, your mindset is the only thing that can keep you from reaching your full potential. Not your circumstances, not other people's opinions, not even your past mistakes. The only thing holding you back is the way you think. When you master your mindset, you take back control. You stop being a victim of your circumstances and you become the architect of your life. You start seeing setbacks as setups for your success. You begin to understand that failure isn't final, it's just feedback. Every challenge you face, every obstacle in your way becomes an opportunity for growth. Because when your mind is strong, nothing can break you. But let me tell you, this mastering your mindset isn't easy. It's a daily battle. Every morning when you wake up, you have a choice to make. Will you let fear and doubt dictate your day? Or will you choose to fill your mind with confidence, with purpose, with determination? You've got to protect your mind like it's your most valuable asset, because it is. The thoughts you entertain will either lift you up or drag you down. You've got to be intentional about the way you think. Don't let negativity take root. Don't let doubt make itself at home in your mind. Instead, feed your mind with the belief that you can overcome anything, that you are stronger than any challenge, that you are worthy of every success that's coming your way. Understand this, your mind can be trained just like any other muscle. The more you practice positive thinking, the easier it gets. The more you shut down those negative voices, the quieter they become. But it takes discipline. It takes consistency. You've got to be willing to do the work, even when it feels hard, even when it feels impossible. And here's another thing, your mind will always try to keep you in your comfort zone because that's where it feels safe. But nothing great ever happens in the comfort zone. Growth happens when you step outside of it, when you push yourself beyond what feels comfortable, when you take risks. Your mind might try to resist, might try to pull you back, but you've got to be stronger than that. You've got to trust that the discomfort is part of the process, part of your transformation. Mastering your mindset means embracing the idea that everything you need to succeed is already within you. It means trusting yourself, believing in your abilities, and knowing that no matter what life throws at you, you have the power to overcome it. You are not a product of your environment, you are a product of your thoughts. When you change the way you think, you change the way you live. So take control of your mind. Stop letting fear, doubt, and negativity run the show. You are capable of more than you can imagine, but it all starts with what you believe about yourself. Master your mindset, and there's no limit to what you can achieve. Commit to the grind. This is where dreams are made, not in the moments of glory, but in the quiet hours, in the sweat, in the struggle, in the relentless pursuit of becoming better than you were yesterday. The grind isn't glamorous, it's gritty. It's waking up early when everyone else is sleeping, staying late when others have called it a day. It's pushing yourself when your body says stop and your mind is screaming, give up. But you don't. You keep going, you keep pushing. Because you know that's where growth happens. That's where greatness is born. The grind is what separates those who dream from those who achieve. A lot of people have dreams, a lot of people have goals, but how many are willing to pay the price? How many are willing to put in the work when the lights aren't shining, when nobody is watching, when the excitement is worn off and all that's left is hard work? That's where the real test is. When you commit to the grind, you commit to something deeper than just the outcome. You commit to the process, to the journey, to the small, often unnoticed steps that eventually lead to something great. Success doesn't come to those who wait, it comes to those who work relentlessly, consistently with everything they've got. The grind is uncomfortable. Let's be real about it. It's not easy to push past your limits, to do the same things over and over again until you get it right, to keep showing up day after day, especially when you don't see immediate results. But that's the beauty of it. The grind builds character. It teaches you patience. It forces you to confront your weaknesses and find strength you didn't know you had. When you're in the grind, doubt will creep in. You'll question yourself. You'll wonder if all the effort is worth it. You'll feel like giving up more times than you can count. But that's when you have to dig deep. That's when you have to remember why you started in the first place. You're not doing this for short-term glory. You're doing it for long-term greatness. You're doing it because you know that nothing worth having comes easy. You're doing it because the grind is where transformation happens. Understand this, the grind isn't just about working hard. It's about working smart. It's about discipline. It's about focus. It's about learning from your mistakes, adjusting your course, and keeping your eyes on the prize, even when the road gets tough. It's about staying committed when the motivation fades, when the excitement wears off, and all that's left is the grind itself. Here's the truth, there will always be distractions. There will always be temptations to take the easy way out, to settle for less, to give yourself an excuse to stop. But if you've truly committed to the grind, none of that will sway you. You'll keep moving forward. You'll keep pushing because deep down, you know that the grind is what makes you stronger. The grind is what separates you from everyone else who just talks about success but isn't willing to work for it. And let me tell you something else, the grind is lonely. It's not a path everyone will understand. People will look at you and wonder why you're putting yourself through it, why you're sacrificing time, energy, comfort. They won't get it because they're not built for the grind, but you are. You know that every hour, every ounce of effort, every bit of sweat is taking you closer to your goal. So embrace the grind. Love it, own it. Because it's your path to greatness. It's not supposed to be easy. If it were, everyone would be doing it. But they're not. You are. And that's what makes you different. That's what makes you stronger. Commit to the grind and watch how everything else falls into place. Success isn't a matter of luck or talent. It's a matter of persistence, of refusing to quit when the going gets tough, of staying the course no matter how long it takes. The grind doesn't guarantee success, but it guarantees growth, and growth is the foundation of everything you want in life. So every day, ask yourself, am I willing to grind for it? If the answer is yes, then nothing can stop you. Silence the doubter inside. That voice, the one that tells you you're not good enough, that you don't have what it takes, that you'll never make it, it's always there, isn't it? Lurking in the back of your mind, waiting for the perfect moment to plant seeds of fear and insecurity. It's the voice that speaks the loudest when you're on the verge of something great, when you're standing at the edge of your potential. And if you're not careful, that voice will talk you out of your dreams. It will keep you stuck. It will keep you small. But here's the truth you need to understand, that voice, that doubter inside isn't real. It's not the truth about you. It's a reflection of fear, of past failures, of limiting beliefs that you've allowed to take up space in your mind. It's a voice born out of self-protection, trying to keep you from stepping into the unknown. But growth doesn't happen in comfort. Success doesn't come from playing it safe. And that voice is doing nothing but holding you back from everything you're capable of. You see, doubt is a natural part of the journey. Everyone faces it. But the people who achieve greatness, the ones who rise above the rest, aren't the ones who never feel doubt. They're the ones who learn to silence it. They refuse to let it control their decisions, their actions, their lives. They recognize that doubt is just noise, and they choose to drown it out with a louder voice, the voice of belief. So belief in yourself is the most powerful weapon you have. When you truly believe that you can achieve something, no obstacle, no setback, no criticism can stop you. But that belief has to come from within. It can't come from external validation or approval. It has to be rooted deep in your core, in the understanding that you are capable of more than your doubt is telling you. The doubter inside will try to convince you that you're not ready, that you don't have enough experience, that someone else is better suited for the job, the opportunity, the dream. It will magnify your weaknesses and downplay your strengths. But here's what you need to remember: doubt is a liar. It doesn't see the whole picture. It doesn't recognize the work you've put in, the resilience you've built, the talent you've cultivated. All it sees is the fear of failure. And fear has one goal: to keep you from moving forward. But you don't have to listen. You don't have to give that voice any power. When doubt creeps in, you have the ability to shut it down. You have the choice to replace it with something stronger, something more true, the knowledge that you are enough. You are prepared, you are worthy, and you've got everything inside you to overcome whatever challenges lie ahead. How do you silence that doubter inside? You confront it. You call it out. You challenge every lie it tries to feed you with evidence of your strength, your progress, your potential. When it tells you that you're not good enough, you remind yourself of all the times you've proven that wrong. When it whispers that you're going to fail, you look back at all the obstacles you've already overcome. And when it tries to fill your mind with fear, you replace it with faith, not just in a higher purpose, but in yourself. Doubt thrives in silence. It grows in the dark corners of your mind when you allow it to go unchallenged. So shine a light on it. Speak words of affirmation, words of power, words that remind you of who you are and what you're capable of. Surround yourself with people who lift you up, who remind you of your worth, who push you to go beyond your comfort zone. And most importantly, commit to speaking life over yourself. Be your own biggest advocate, your own biggest supporter. Because if you don't believe in you, how can anyone else? Understand, this doubt doesn't disappear. You can't eliminate it entirely, but you can learn to silence it. You can learn to turn down its volume and turn up the voice that says, I can, I will, I must. That's the voice you need to amplify. That's the voice that will carry you through the tough times, the uncertain moments, the long nights when it feels like giving up would be easier. The doubter inside is just a part of your mind. It's not who you are. It's not your truth. And once you realize that, you take back your power. You stop letting that voice dictate your life. You stop letting it control your actions. You start living in alignment with your true potential, with the confidence that you are destined for greatness. So the next time doubt tries to creep in, don't just ignore it, face it head on. Silence it with your actions. Prove it wrong with your persistence. And remember, the only person who can stop you is you. And if you can silence the doubter inside, there's nothing that can stand in your way. Embrace the struggle. I know it sounds counterintuitive. We're wired to avoid pain, to seek comfort, to run from anything that makes us feel uneasy or uncertain. But here's the truth: the struggle is where the magic happens. It's where you're refined, where you're tested, where you're transformed. Without struggle, there is no growth. Without hardship, there's no strength. And without pain, there's no progress. You see, struggle is not your enemy. It's your teacher. It's in the moments of struggle that you learn the most about who you really are. It's easy to feel confident when everything's going your way, when life is smooth and predictable. But who are you when things get tough? Who are you when you're knocked down? When the road gets rocky? When the world seems like it's working against you? That's when your true character is revealed. That's when you find out what you're really made of. Struggle isn't something to run from. It's something to run towards. Because the things that challenge you, the things that push you beyond your limits, are the very things that will make you stronger. The struggle is a process of refining fire that burns away the parts of you that are weak, that are unprepared, that are not ready for the greatness you're destined for. It's not there to break you, it's there to build you. Every time you face a challenge, every time you encounter adversity, you're being given an opportunity to grow. Here's the thing, struggle doesn't feel good in the moment. It's painful. It's uncomfortable. It makes you question everything. You start to wonder if you're on the right path, if you're cut out for this, if all the effort is worth it. And that's exactly why most people give up when they face struggle. They think it's a sign to quit. They think it means they're not capable, not worthy. But that's the lie. Struggle isn't a sign to stop. It's a sign that you're on the right track. It's the universe's way of saying, I'm preparing you for something bigger. Every person who has achieved something great has gone through immense struggle. That's the part of their story you don't always see. You see the success, the results, the accolades, but you don't see the nights they spent doubting themselves, the moments they wanted to quit, the pain they had to endure. That's the part people don't talk about enough. But it's the most important part. Because without that struggle, the success wouldn't mean anything. When you embrace the struggle, you change the way you see it. Instead of seeing it as a barrier, you see it as a stepping stone. Instead of feeling defeated, you feel determined. You start to understand that every setback, every failure, every challenge is just preparing you for the next level. It's shaping you into the person you need to be to handle what's coming next. And trust me, something bigger is coming. But you've got to go through the struggle to get there. Think of the struggle like a workout for your soul. Just like you push your body in the gym to get stronger, you've got to push your mind, your spirit, your heart through the struggles of life. And just like in the gym, there will be pain. There will be days when you want to quit, when you feel like you've reached your limit. But if you keep going, if you push through the pain, you'll come out on the other side stronger, tougher, and more resilient than you ever thought possible. But here's the thing, you've got to embrace it. You can't half-step through the struggle. You can't complain your way through it or try to avoid it. You've got to face it head on. You've got to accept that it's part of the journey and lean into it with everything you've got. That's how you grow. That's how you elevate. When you stop fighting against the struggle and start embracing it, everything changes. It no longer feels like a burden, it feels like a gift. It feels like an opportunity to become better, to become stronger, to become the person you were always meant to be. The struggle is where you find your strength. It's where you find your courage. It's where you discover that you are capable of far more than you ever imagined. But you'll never know that if you keep running from it. You'll never tap into your full potential if you stay in your comfort zone, if you avoid the hard things, if you shy away from the pain. Growth doesn't happen in comfort. It happens in the struggle. So the next time you face a challenge, the next time life throws something hard at you, don't run from it. Don't complain about it. Embrace it. Lean into it. Understand that the struggle is a part of your story. It's shaping you, preparing you, and ultimately it's setting you up for the success you've been working for. The struggle is your path to greatness. It's not the obstacle, it's the way. Embrace the struggle. Trust the process. And know that every ounce of pain, every moment of doubt, every setback is just setting you up for the comeback. Because the harder the struggle, the sweeter the victory. And you're built for it. You're stronger than you think. You've got what it takes. Now it's time to embrace the struggle and prove it to yourself. Be relentless in your discipline. Discipline isn't a one-time decision. It's not something you do when you feel like it, when the conditions are perfect or when it's convenient. Discipline is a commitment, a daily grind, a promise you make to yourself that no matter what comes your way, you will stay the course. It's waking up every day with purpose and refusing to let distractions, setbacks, or even your own doubts pull you off track. Discipline is the bridge between where you are now and where you want to be. And if you want to succeed, if you want to achieve greatness, you must be relentless in your pursuit of it. Too many people talk about their dreams, their goals, their desires, but talk is cheap. Dreams are easy to imagine. Everybody can picture success, but very few are willing to put in the work it takes to make those dreams a reality. Discipline is the difference between those who talk about success and those who live it. It's the difference between wishing and doing. And the truth is, without discipline, all the talent, ambition, and potential in the world will amount to nothing. Being relentless in your discipline means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means doing the hard things, especially when they're uncomfortable. It's easy to be disciplined when you're motivated, when you're excited, when the vision of success is clear in your mind. But what about the days when the motivation fades? When the excitement wears off? When the grind feels too heavy and the results seem too far away? That's when discipline matters most. That's when you have to dig deep and remember why you started in the first place. Discipline is about mastering the small, consistent actions that lead to big results. It's not about making huge leaps overnight. It's about taking steady, purposeful steps every single day. Success doesn't come from doing something once in a while. It comes from doing it day in and day out, whether you feel like it or not. It's about setting a standard for yourself and refusing to settle for anything less. It's about saying, I will not allow anything to distract me from my purpose. I will not allow excuses to define my effort. I will not give up no matter how hard it gets. You have to understand that discipline is freedom. It might seem like it's restrictive, like it's holding you back from enjoying life, but in reality, discipline is what sets you free. When you have control over your habits, over your mindset, over your actions, you're no longer a slave to circumstances or fleeting emotions. You're no longer at the mercy of laziness or procrastination. You are in control. Discipline allows you to shape your future, to create the life you want, to achieve things that most people only dream about. But being relentless in your discipline requires sacrifice. It requires you to say no to things that don't serve your goals, to cut out distractions, to focus on what truly matters. It means giving up short-term pleasure for long-term gain. And let's be real, it's not always easy. You'll have moments when you want to quit, when you'll wonder if the sacrifices are worth it, when it feels like everyone else is enjoying life while you're grinding. But that's the price of greatness. That's the cost of achieving something extraordinary. And if you want to reach the top, you've got to be willing to pay that price. Discipline isn't just about working hard, it's about working smart. It's about being intentional with your time, your energy, your focus. It's about setting priorities and sticking to them, no matter how tempting the distractions may be. It's about saying, I'm committed to this path, and nothing will pull me off course. When you're relentless in your discipline, you develop a sense of self-respect. You begin to trust yourself because you know that when you set a goal, you're going to follow through on it. You become dependable, not just to others, but to yourself. That's the kind of confidence that can't be shaken. That's the kind of power that will carry you through the toughest challenges because you've built a foundation of discipline that's unbreakable. Here's the thing discipline compounds over time. The small actions you take every day may not seem like much in the moment, but over weeks, months, and years, they add up to something massive. Every day you stick to your routine, every day you resist the temptation to take the easy way out, you're investing in your future. And one day you'll wake up and realize that all those small acts of discipline have transformed your life. But it only happens if you stay relentless. If you keep pushing, keep grinding, keep showing up, even when it feels like you're getting nowhere. The world will throw distractions your way. Life will test your resolve. People will question your choices, your commitment, your path. But you can't let any of that sway you. You have to stay locked in, laser focused on your goal, and refuse to let anything knock you off course. You have to train your mind to see the long game, to understand that every act of discipline is taking you one step closer to your dream. So be relentless. Don't let up. Don't let the hard days defeat you. And don't let the easy days make you complacent. Every day is a chance to prove to yourself that you're serious about your goals, that you're willing to do whatever it takes to succeed. Be relentless in your discipline, and there's nothing you can't achieve. Because in the end, it's not talent, luck, or even opportunity that determines your success. It's your commitment to the grind, your ability to stay disciplined, no matter what life throws your way, know your purpose. Purpose is the anchor that holds you steady when the storms of life hit. It's the foundation upon which everything else in your life is built. Without purpose, you're drifting, moving through life without direction, without intention, without meaning. But when you know your purpose, you're grounded, you're clear, you have a reason for every move you make, every step you take. Purpose gives you focus, it gives you drive, it gives you strength to keep going when everything else tells you to stop. When you know your purpose, you don't get easily distracted. You're not pulled off course by every shiny thing that comes your way, by the opinions of others, by temporary pleasures or momentary comforts. You're locked in. Your purpose acts like a compass, guiding you through the noise and chaos of life, helping you make decisions that align with your greater vision. Purpose gives your life meaning beyond the day-to-day struggles, beyond the setbacks, beyond the frustrations. It elevates your perspective, allowing you to see the bigger picture, the long-term vision. But finding your purpose isn't always easy. It's not something that's handed to you on a silver platter. You've got to dig deep. You've got to ask yourself the hard questions. Why am I here? What am I meant to do? What legacy do I want to leave behind? It's not about what the world expects from you, what others think you should do, or what seems like the right path. It's about what you were uniquely created to do. It's about tapping into your gifts, your passions, your calling. Purpose isn't always loud. It doesn't always scream for attention. Sometimes it's quiet, buried deep beneath layers of doubt, fear, or expectations. But it's always there. It's that inner voice, that pull, that thing that makes you feel alive when you're doing it. It's what excites you, what drives you, what makes you feel connected to something greater than yourself. And when you discover it, everything changes. You start living with intention, with clarity, with power. Knowing your purpose gives you a sense of direction. It becomes your why, and when you have a strong why, you can endure anyhow. The road to success, to fulfillment, is never easy. It's filled with challenges, with failures, with moments of doubt. But purpose gives you the strength to keep moving forward. It reminds you that the struggle isn't pointless, that the pain isn't in vain. It reminds you that everything you're going through is leading you somewhere meaningful. Purpose gives you resilience. When you're clear about why you're doing something, obstacles don't stop you, they fuel you. They become stepping stones, not barriers. When you're grounded in your purpose, failure doesn't break you. You understand that setbacks are part of the journey, and you use them to grow, to learn, to become better. Purpose gives you the strength to rise again and again, no matter how many times life knocks you down. But here's the thing, purpose isn't always about some grand, world-changing mission. It doesn't have to be about fame, fortune, or recognition. Purpose is personal. It's about what lights a fire in you. It could be as simple as making a difference in your community, raising a family, creating art, or helping others. It doesn't matter how big or small it looks to the world. What matters is that it means something to you, that it's aligned with who you are, with your values, with your heart. Knowing your purpose also keeps you from chasing things that don't serve you. It protects you from wasting time on things that don't align with your vision. Too many people spend their lives chasing success, chasing approval, chasing things that look good on the outside but leave them empty on the inside. But when you know your purpose, you're not chasing, you're building. You're building a life that's meaningful, that's fulfilling, that's true to who you are. You're not living for the applause or the validation. You're living for something deeper, something that can't be taken away from you. Purpose gives you confidence. When you know why you're here, you stop comparing yourself to others. You stop measuring your success by someone else's standards. You understand that your path is your own, and you walk it with confidence, with pride, with power. You're no longer trying to fit into someone else's mold or live up to someone else's expectations. You're living your truth, following your own path, guided by your own inner compass. And here's the most important thing. Purpose isn't static. It evolves. It grows as you grow. What drives you today might shift as you experience life, as you learn, as you gain new insights. But at its core, your purpose will always come from a place of authenticity. It's not something you have to create. It's something you discover, something you uncover as you strip away the layers of who you think you're supposed to be and step into who you really are. So take the time to know your purpose. Don't rush the process. Don't let the world distract you from finding it. Reflect, search, and listen to that inner voice. Because once you know your purpose, you become unstoppable. Once you know your purpose, you have something to live for, something to fight for, something that makes all the struggle, all the pain, all the hard work worth it. When you know your purpose, you live with intention, with clarity, and with an unshakable sense of direction. Purpose gives you the courage to step into your greatness and the resilience to keep moving forward, no matter what life throws your way. So find your purpose, hold on to it, and let it guide you toward the life you were meant to live. Stay humble, stay hungry. No matter how high you rise, no matter how much success you achieve, never forget where you came from. Humility isn't about downplaying your achievements or pretending you're less than what you are. It's about staying grounded, staying connected to the core of who you are, and remembering that the journey never ends. The moment you start believing you've made it, that you've arrived, that's when you begin to lose your edge. That's when the hunger starts to fade. And when the hunger fades, so does the drive, the grit, the fire that got you there in the first place. Humility is strength. It's knowing that no matter how successful you become, you're always a student of life. There's always more to learn, more to improve, more to achieve. You're never too big to take advice, never too accomplished to accept criticism, and never too proud to recognize your own flaws. Humility is what keeps you open to growth, open to new ideas, open to bettering yourself. It keeps you from becoming complacent, from believing the hype, from letting success inflate your ego to the point where you stop putting in the work. But staying humble doesn't mean you shouldn't be proud of what you've accomplished. It doesn't mean you should minimize your success or hide your light. No, you should stand tall in your achievements, but with the understanding that success is a blessing, not an entitlement. It's the result of hard work, discipline, and opportunity. And with success comes responsibility, the responsibility to stay grounded, to remember the people who helped you along the way, and to never take for granted the position you're in. Staying hungry is about never settling. It's about keeping that fire burning even when you've tasted success. Hunger is what separates the good from the great. It's what pushes you to go the extra mile, to do what others won't, to keep striving when most people would have called it a day. Hunger is what drives innovation, creativity, and excellence. It's that internal fuel that keeps you moving forward, keeps you hungry for growth, for betterment, for mastery. But here's the thing, success can dull your hunger if you're not careful. It can make you comfortable, make you complacent, make you start believing that you've done enough. And that's the trap. Comfort is the enemy of progress. The moment you start to feel satisfied, the moment you let yourself relax, that's when you start slipping. That's when the competition catches up. That's when your edge, your drive, your hunger begins to fade. Staying hungry means you never lose that sense of urgency. It means you approach every day like it's day one, like you've got something to prove, like there's always more to achieve. You don't rest on yesterday's victories. You don't let past success define you. You're always looking forward, always thinking about the next challenge, the next goal, the next level, and you chase it with the same intensity, the same passion, the same hunger that got you to where you are. Humility and hunger work together. They keep you balanced. Humility keeps your feet on the ground while hunger pushes you to reach higher. Humility reminds you that you're human, that you don't have all the answers, that there's always more to learn. Hunger reminds you that you're capable of more, that you can achieve greatness if you keep pushing, if you stay hungry for growth, for excellence, for success. You see, the most successful people aren't the ones who just get to the top, they're the ones who stay there. And to stay there, you've got to stay hungry. You've got to keep that same intensity, that same fire, that same drive that got you there in the first place. Because the moment you let up, the moment you think you've arrived, that's when you start falling. That's when the hunger dies and the complacency sets in. And staying humble ensures that no matter how far you go, you don't forget the journey. It reminds you to stay grateful, to stay connected to the struggle, to never lose sight of where you started. Humility keeps your ego in check. It keeps you from believing that you're above the grind, above the process. It keeps you working, keeps you learning, keeps you striving for more without getting lost in arrogance or entitlement. Staying humble also keeps you connected to the people around you. It reminds you that no one achieves success alone. It takes a team, it takes support. It takes people who believe in you, who guide you, who help you along the way. Humility reminds you to give back, to lift others as you climb, to share the knowledge, the wisdom, and the opportunities that you've been blessed with. But at the end of the day, it's the hunger that drives it all. The hunger to grow, to improve, to be better than you were yesterday. Hunger doesn't let you settle. It keeps you pushing, keeps you grinding, keeps you focused on what's next. It doesn't allow you to rest on your laurels or get comfortable with where you are. And that's the key, because success is not a destination, it's a journey. It's a process that never ends. So stay humble, but never stop chasing. Stay grounded, but never stop climbing. Stay grateful, but never stop reaching for more. Keep your ego in check and keep that fire burning. Because the moment you lose your humility, you disconnect from your roots. And the moment you lose your hunger, you stop moving forward. The greatest victories are won not by those who are satisfied, but by those who stay relentless, stay driven, stay hungry. And the strongest leaders are those who never lose their humility, who never forget the people and the lessons that got them to where they are. So stay humble, stay hungry, and watch how far you can go. The sky's the limit when you master both.